kidney failure word creates a lot of panic. Dialysis the only option? Is it safe to donate an organ? Why do people in India still struggle to get access to timely kidney transplant healthcare?
Kidney transplant is not a dangerous surgery. Donor will become weaker. I think this is the biggest myth. To pick up the kidney disease early is to have a regular health check.
It is estimated that 220,000 people in our country require kidney transplants every year. In fact, in 2023, our nation required 1,75,000 kidney transplants and only 13,642 were done. In the prevalence of early or end stage of renal disease where kidney transplants are required, in India, it is estimated to be somewhere around 151 to 232 per million population. Hello guys and welcome to the very special Health Edition podcast from Hindustan Times. I am your host Tamanna, and in today's subject, we are going to discuss something that impacts lakhs of families in our country and still is surrounded by a lot of misconception, hesitation and fear. That is kidney transplants. Kidney transplant is a surgical process through which we aim to replace a diseased or an injured kidney from a healthy one through the help of a donor. For so many people in our nation, kidney failure word creates a lot of panic and their mind starts getting flooded by tons of questions. Is it safe to get a kidney transplant? Is dialysis the only option? How expensive can it get? Is it safe to donate an organ? And much more. Perhaps the biggest question of all is that why do people in India still struggle to get access to timely kidney transplant healthcare? And you know what? These myths continue to prevent patients and their families to take informed decisions, something that they will be bedridden for their entire lives. They'll be unhealthy after they donate an organ and much more. Sometimes most of the people step behind because of social stigmas, and on all of these cases, people thus make it impossible to make kidney transplants done. So today, to separate facts from fiction, we have a distinguished guest who will be talking about the realities of society, or be it medical, or be it physical or emotional. We have a very distinguished guest with us today, Dr. Vipin Tyagi. So Dr. Vipin Tyagi is a senior consultant urologist, robotic and kidney transplant surgeon of India. He is currently heading the unit of Department of Robotics and Urology. Also, he is the Vice Chairman of Department of Kidney Transplant at Sir Ganga Ram Hospital, New Delhi. So without wasting any more time, let's welcome our today's guest, Dr. Tyagi, to our show. So thank you so much for coming here and taking out your precious time for us today.
Thank you, Tamanna, for inviting me here and giving me an opportunity to share my opinions about the kidney and the kidney transplant.
Well, sir, that is our honor that you are here today. But starting with a very basic question for now, we'll disseminate the right information on the later aspect. Let's start with basics, like what does exactly a kidney do?
So kidney is a very, very essential and a vital organ of a human body. I always said to my students and to my patients that heart, brain, lung, liver and kidney, these are the essential organ of our body.
Right.
And if something happened to them, it can be life-threatening. So the kidney, same way, is a very critical organ. Everybody knows that kidney has a task for filtering out all the bad materials and the bad thoughts from the human body.
Right.
But beside that, kidney plays a very, very essential role in producing hemoglobin, in controlling the blood pressure, in producing various hormones. So if the kidney fails, it does not impair the filtration of the blood, but it also impaired the production of the hemoglobin. So anemia can happen, the control of the blood pressure, so hypertension can happen, and the weaknesses of the bones and the body.
Okay.
So yes, kidney is a very essential organ and kidney failure is a very critical disease to handle.
And now that you've already mentioned when kidneys fail, right, I would like to double tap on that, and I would ask, what makes that happen? What creates or causes a kidney failure to happen?
So globally and in India also, the two most common causes of kidney failure is one, the diabetes, and another is the hypertension.
Right.
But beside that, there are certain acts which happen in the life. Like during the COVID, lot many people are taking kahadas and all those things.
Yeah.
They actually hit the kidney in a bad way.
Is it?
Yeah, definitely. And certain medications, like too much of painkillers, a lady who is having a pain during the periods or the bone pains and consuming too much of painkillers can ultimately end up into affecting the kidneys. Some complication during any disease, which can be infection, which can be pregnancy, which can be any major surgery, any major accident, that can also have an impact on the kidney function. And unfortunately, in some of the group of the patients, we even after doing all the researches,
Yeah.
are not able to pinpoint a significant one cause of a kidney failure.
My God.
So it is very essential. That's why I always say to all my colleagues, friends, and to my patients that the only way to pick up the kidney disease early is to have a regular health checkup,
Diagnosis.
even if you are not symptomatic. So if you have a bit of aberration from your normal routine, like on one fine day you start feeling weakness, you start feeling letharginess, you are feeling too sleepy in the afternoons, your appetite has decreased, do get your test done. Just get a blood test done and rule out that you are not suffering from any kidney disease.
Well, the observations that you've just mentioned are so tiny that it's very hard to realize that whether you are going through something or not. But can you mention a few symptoms here and there which can kind of basically prove that yes, there is something wrong with you?
So as I said, say for example, if one person leading a very healthy lifestyle and suddenly he or she start feeling that whenever in the afternoon they are feeling a little bit of more letharginess, more weakness, and they are not feeling too much to have food, and they basically have a loss of appetite.
Right.
So these are one of the initial symptoms.
Okay.
Secondly, if you have the swelling of your feet,
Oh.
the swelling, unexplained swelling of your body, of your eyes, then these could be the sign of kidney failure. You can have a frothy urine.
Okay.
The urine become too much of frothy. It could be a sign of kidney failure.
All right.
You are a diabetic patient and your sugars are haywire. So you may not feel something to your body, but if you feel that your sugars are haywire, it is increasing to more than 200, 250, do get your kidney test done. It can also affect the kidney things. You start feeling myalgia, like muscular pains and all those things. You have decreased urine output.
Oh.
And you have blood in the urine, which is a very, very significant sign. So do not ignore these things. You should get a test done, as I said earlier, to rule out a kidney disease. Sometimes we get a test to diagnose a thing.
Right.
Sometimes we get a test to rule out a thing. So whenever you have a bit of aberration in your life, the way you are living, it is not a bad idea to get a test done.
Yes.
And to rule out that you are not suffering from any kidney problems.
Yes. So diagnosis and awareness both play a very important role.
Yes,
here.
I always say prevention is better than cure.
True.
But I would always say that early treatment is better than late treatment. So if you diagnose the disease early, you are able to treat the disease early.
True.
If you diagnose the disease late, you will treat the disease late.
But sir, still looking at that, you must have heard this so many times. Anytime people hear the word kidney failure, they run for dialysis. They hear that and they just panic, they think about it. But how do you, the viewers watching this right now, what would you tell them? Where does the kidney transplant fit in the scenario?
So I think kidney failure is a very, very absolute term and it should not be used actually.
Okay.
The right term is a chronic kidney disease. That now you have a kidney disease which is irreversible, like a very simple parameter by virtue of which we measure the kidney function is a creatinine, which remains about 1 in male and female. So if it increases more than 1 or the normal range of wherever you get the test done, it means that you have a kidney disease.
Okay.
Now the kidney disease has been characterized into two groups, acute and chronic. Acute means that there is something happens because of which your creatinine has increased. So there are chances when that particular things become normal, your creatinine will come down. Chronic disease means that now this creatinine will not come to the normal. Say if it reaches to 1.5, it is not kidney failure.
Okay.
It is a chronic kidney disease.
Okay.
Now in chronic kidney disease, we have multiple stages from 1 to 5, right? So one is the first stage is the starting of the kidney disease And the fifth stage, what we called as end stage renal disease. That means now the kidney are not working at all. From first, it can be said it could be working just say 60% or 70%, but now at end stage renal disease or CKD5, the kidney is not working at all. This is the time when we say that now you are into kidney failure, right? So the medical term for the kidney disease is a chronic kidney disease, which have 5 stages, and the fifth stage is called end stage renal disease, where now the kidney cannot be made better, and the kidney have lost all the potentials of doing any work.
How do people realize that where or when they should go for a transplant?
For that, they should meet their nephrologist, who are the physicians taking care of the kidney diseases, or the transplant surgeons. Now, basically, the nephrologists take care of the chronic kidney disease, and once nephrologist feels that now this patient has turned over to a CKD5 or an end-stage renal disease, that time the question of getting a transplant comes into the picture. And that's where the role of a transplant surgeon like me come into the picture.
True that. And right expertise follows, obviously, because today you must be seeing people that, Google and AI is the only resource probably to get themselves checked. And
yeah. So a lot of the people came with all the myths, or I can say all the knowledges, not myth. So they have their own knowledge base, which is governed by the chat GPTs or the Googles. And I asked them to definitely go through all the things. You ask me all the silly questions you have in your mind, or which the questions you feel are very significant, and let me answer all the things, because I have the knowledge of them. So now in the era of so much of exposure to the social media, we cannot deny their existence. The responsibility of us as a medical or surgical practitioner is to bridge the gap of knowledge between what the person have perceived from the social media and what exactly happens.
Yeah.
So I do encourage sometime to by patient to go through all the Googles and chat GPT.
That's the first time I'm hearing this.
Because even if I don't say them, they will definitely go back and they will just explore all the possible options for their treatment. So they have that right. The only right is with me is to explain them what is right and what is wrong.
True. But sir, this is more about getting into what is going right now in the health industry. But coming to the medical or coming it from the surgical perspective, how advanced has India or how advanced has it gone in this industry, in kidney transplants today?
So we are as good as anywhere globally as far as the transplant surgery and the transplant medicine is concerned.
Wow.
So if somebody asks me, is there anything better than what we are offering in India? I don't think there is anything better than what we are offering in India. We are offering all the advanced technology for the taking of the kidney from the donor, and also the transplanting kidney into the recipient. So whatever you can think of, we are doing all the major technological advancement in India. So I don't feel somebody asked me, I have a lot of money and I want to go to anywhere globally to get my transplant done. Is there any difference between what you are doing and what the person in the other country can do? I said everything is same. There is no difference right now between getting a treatment done here or getting a treatment in any other continent globally.
Oh, wow, that's a very big statement to make indeed. Yes. But kudos to expertise and experts like you who have made that possible. Yet again, sir, we'll move on to a little more interesting part of this conversation would be decoding or debunking of some myths. So one myth that we all hear all the time is that kidney transplants are very dangerous. What do you think about that narrative?
Kidney transplant is not a dangerous surgery. It's just like any other surgery.
Okay.
So I do urology, robotics surgeries beside the kidney transplant also. So when somebody asks me, kidney transplant is a major surgery, I say, for a surgeon, it doesn't depend what is major and what is minor. It depends upon how routinely he is doing that thing.
Okay.
Like hosting this podcast will be a minor thing for you, but if I decide to host a thing, it will become a very major thing for me.
Oh.
But it is a routine thing for you. So for the same way, I do about 4 to 5 transplant in a week, more than any other surgery I do in my whole career. So for me, kidney transplant is a routine surgery. So it's not a major or minor thing, it is a routine surgery. The team in our hospital, in Ganga Ram Hospital, whether it is the surgeons or the nephrologist or the technicians or the post-operative care or the assistant or the resident, they are well equipped to take care of all these things. So for us, because we are doing so regularly, it is a routine type of our work. And for any surgeon, even a small nail removal is as major as taking out a kidney.
Oh,
Because surgery is a surgery.
anyways, wow. But so this is more about the disease side of it or the surgical part of it. Now coming to the donor side, right? There's another myth revolving around it that people think the donor will become too weak after he donates the organ. People have this very heavy mindset towards this. So what do you think about that?
I think this is the biggest myth.
Okay.
I tell you two things about them, these two. For us, when somebody has taken a decision to donate his or her kidney, it is a very, very significant decision by that person. And we as a medical professional give a lot of respect to them.
Yeah.
So we never call them patients. We always call them donor.
Ah.
So say suppose in the morning I did a transplant. So in our hospital, it's about 150 cases lined up. Only one transplant. So out of these 150 cases, one patient is being operated because he or she is healthy.
Yeah.
Rest 149 will be or are getting operated because they have some disease. But this one person is getting operated because he does not have any disease at all. So we as a surgeon, as a healthcare professional, do a significant respect to that particular feeling. A. B, because we have ruled out that this donor is having any significant medical or surgical problem. So actually these donors behave much more better because they are the healthy individual, which we have certified from the medical perspective, from the surgical perspective, from the psychological perspective, from the emotional perspective. So when we have ruled out any other abnormality in this patient, so studies has found that the myth is that donor will become weaker. Kidney transplant is not a dangerous surgery. Becoming more healthier even after kidney donation. A, they are donated with their will. B, they are healthy and that's why they have donated. And C, now they know that they have donated, so they have a motivation to keep themselves healthy in the future also.
So it's like connecting the dots.
Yes. So they, even after donation, they actually remains much more healthier than a normal population.
Because people have this thing that, oh, I've done this, up to I'll be bedridden for the rest of their lives. There will be lifelong illness. So what do you tell them? What do you tell them when they come up with such questions?
So when they come, we tell them all the things which we are taking care to make their morbidity. What the morbidity word means, the problem arising because of the surgery as less as possible.
Okay.
So now, say about 10-15 years back, even in my hospital, we used to take out the kidney by giving a big cut. Now we are taking out the kidney by laparoscopic. So there is a small cut. So the people who in the past has to remain in the hospital for 5 to 7 days now can be discharged in 2 to 3 days. They can resume their normal activities in a week time or in 10 days. So the problem arising from this surgery of the donation are being on a decline because of all the technological advancement which are happening in India and anywhere in the globe.
And we will tend to see even more in the future.
Yes. So that's the reason they accept.
Yeah.
Say for example, I give you an example of a young female who is 18, and normally we do not want to take a kidney from a young female. Her mother, who was in the 40s and somewhere, she had a kidney failure. There is no donor in the family. So this young girl who is 18 and a half had shown her desire to donate the kidney. And when she came to me first time, I said, I will make sure that if you get up ready for any events in the future, the marks will be as less as possible. So we did the surgery with minimal invasive method, and fortunately this happens about 5-6 years back. And recently I was just in Khan Market, and she actually found me.
Oh.
And I asked her, how you're doing? She said, I'm absolutely fine and all my marks are not visible.
Oh wow, amazing.
So that's the beauty of giving all the surgical advancement to the donor. And this is an example to show that even the young female can donate and she can have a normal healthy life throughout her life.
Yeah. So that is a little personal question apart from what I had, because as we've already thought about this so many times, that this is where science is giving you another chance to live another life, right? And when this is happening through you, how proud do you get of yourself sometimes? Do you?
Yeah, we felt a lot of proud. Actually, more than proud, it is a responsibility. You feel good. You feel good that you are being, the God has chosen you
Yeah.
to be in His act
You're the
as a tool.
mediator. Yes.
So that's give a lot of
Wow.
satisfaction to us as a medical professional. And I'm into transplant since 2006. So now it's about 20 years.
Oh,
So it take a lot of satisfaction when
yeah.
we do a transplant and we see a patient coming to us and ask us, Dr. Saab, when next time I have to see
Wow.
you? And I said, no, there's no need to see me again. Your kidney
You're
is
too
working.
modest about it.
Your kidney is working, and it is as good to do not see me as a doctor. You can see me as Vipin. Do not see me as a Dr. Vipin Tyagi. So that's give a lot of satisfaction.
100%. And may God bless more experts like you that you can change hundreds of lives more.
Yeah, and may God bless us with more donors so that the more
Yes.
lives can become much more better. Because in India there is a lot of misbalance between the need of the transplants and the available
Big
transplants.
vacuum.
Yes,
Indeed, indeed.
there's a big gap. We have about the possibilities of 2 lakhs transplants, but we are just having about 10,000 transplants.
Yeah.
So we are just fulfilling the 5% of what is required.
Yes.
So these rest of the 95% do have a right to live,
100%.
do have a right to live a normal, comfortable life.
Yeah.
So by all these conversations and the messages,
Yeah.
we have to sell the idea that the best treatment for kidney failure is kidney transplant, and the best way to have a kidney transplant is to have a proper living or cadaveric donor.
Yeah, wow, how beautiful. But now coming back to the myths, one thing that is also very, very prevalent in the market today is that age is a very big factor. People think that it's only made for the young people, somebody who's probably last in their early 40s or maybe late 30s, right? After that, they cannot get a kidney transplant done. What do you think about that?
I think before that, I asked you a question.
Yeah.
Who is controlling the world right now? From the US president to the Indian prime minister or to the Irani chief,
Yeah.
everybody is 70, 60 plus.
Yeah.
So if they can handle the world, the old people with the kidney failure have a whole right to become more healthier.
That's a lovely way to put it.
So I feel that
Yeah.
so age is just a number. It's everybody have a right to live, even if there's 6 months of his life or 60 years of his life. That life should be as beautiful as possible.
100%.
So even for the kidney transplant, age is no limit. The only time we say no to a patient if a patient is not fit for a surgery, unfortunately, which happens very rarely, or the patient is having certain diseases which can get worse after the transplant. Those are the two conditions where we say no to the patient. Otherwise, for us and for anybody else, every patient have a right to get a kidney if he or she is suffering from a kidney failure.
Okay, thank you for decoding that. And also another one thing is that if you get a kidney transplant done, you will be bedridden forever.
No. So idea of having a kidney
Yeah.
transplant is to give you your healthy normal life back. If I did a transplant to a patient and I ask him or her to close himself in a room, cut yourself from rest of the room, this is much more bigger punishment than a kidney failure.
Yeah.
So there is this a typical proper absolute myth. Any transplant patient can do whatever he or she wants.
Okay.
They have to take a bit of precautions, which we normally take. We do not want to have an infection from any source of the body, even if we are a healthier one. Otherwise, they have to take no precaution at all. They have to just take their medicine at time, avoid a bit of infection, and can lead a normal life. I have patients who was a musician,
Okay.
and after the transplant, he is still a musician. A politician still remains a politician. A banker still remain a banker. I have a young lady who got a transplant done. She used to do a ramp walk. She's still doing a ramp walk.
Wow.
So the idea of doing a transplant is to provide you a better quality and a better quantity of life. So if we are decreasing the quality of the life, then there's no fun of getting a transplant done.
True, true. And also other than this, people think dialysis is better than transplant. How do you tell people about
So
it?
I give very simple example. So if your tire get burst of the car, there are two ways to handle that. You stop at every petrol pump, get the air filled, then drive the car for more 4-5 kilometers. Again, go to the petrol pump, get the air filled, again drive for 4 to 5 kilometers. What will happen? Your journey is with interruptions. After some time, your tire will just
Burst.
burst and it just get out of and the vehicle cannot move. This is dialysis. So your kidney function is
Very temporary repair.
Yes. So your kidney function is being taken care by in the dialysis only to filter out the waste material. It is not increasing your hemoglobin. It is not controlling your hypertension. It is not providing any hormones which are secreted from the kidney. So it is just providing filtering out, and that on a temporary basis. So you have to go 2 times in a week to get a transplant done, to get a dialysis done. Sorry, and you have to take somebody with you.
Okay.
Right. So 2 persons will have 2 days in a week wasted for a dialysis. Right. And on the other hand, the transplant is the tire which got punctured.
You
just completely replace the tire. Very simpler thing to do.
But is it this easy to convince our Indian audience today?
Yeah, it's too easy. Sometimes if it is too easy to change the tire. I said, okay, if you have a Maruti car, the tire is now from a Centro one, so you can have a little bit of hiccup, but the car will run. It will not stop. You will get more time to enjoy in the car rather than at the petrol pump in the queue. So that's how you give examples that the transplant is basically provide a better quality and the quantity of life as compared to a dialysis. If I tell you in a very data form, the life survival of 5 years on a dialysis as compared to life survival 5 years after a transplant, on a dialysis more patient dies of the kidney diseases or the dialysis complication as compared to after the transplant.
And that's a fact.
That's a fact. So if you average life, the third fact, average life on a dialysis is about 2 years. If you include every patient, the good patient, the healthy patient and the worse kidney failure patient.
No matter what the stage is.
Right. So,
Okay.
so average life on a dialysis is 2 years. So you are having a life which is with interruptions. You have a life which is low. And thirdly, certain patient says, sir, dialysis is just happening in 5,000 rupees and transplant, it will be a fare of 5 to 7 lakh rupees in one go and then the medicines. So I always explain them 5,000 rupees and you are getting a dialysis 2 times in a week. So that means 8 times in a month. And if one dialysis is costing you 40,000 bucks, it is about 5 lakh rupees in a year. And you are wasting 2 full day of human resources of you and your attendant.
So it's an engagement cost of that person. Yeah.
So it turned out to be 6 to 7 lakh rupees per year. And here you are getting a transplant done in this amount of money. And now you are available to work. So you can earn money not only for you, you can earn money for your family and you can earn money to take care of your treatment also.
But other than that, so many schemes and government is supporting so much in the medical industry today.
And more so in the transplants, the PM Relief Fund, the CM Relief Fund. So government is putting their step forward to support these type of patients, and we are getting good amount of patients who are able to get the financial support from the PM Relief Fund and from the CM Relief Fund. So the government is putting their step forward. Now, as a patient, the patient should come forward for the transplant, and as a surgeon, we should be happy enough to offer them our services.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, India is a price-sensitive country, right?
Everywhere is price-sensitive.
Yes, and they have this narrative which we cannot deal with. So how do you, I think this is exactly, we can explain them. If you do the basic math, you have your answer.
So for me, if there is a kidney patient who comes to my OPD, who want to get a kidney transplant done, it's take about 20 minutes to 30 minutes of counseling.
Oh.
Because they have all these myths. They feel that transplant is costly. Transplant is on a long term is much economical as compared to the dialysis.
Right.
And the second thing, on one thing which you always forget, in a transplant you are not getting the life, you are getting the life which can be utilized. Like I tell you one simple thing, in 1954 first transplant was done by Dr. Murray, and it's identical twins, one of the brother gave the kidney to the another brother. The brother who received the kidney lived for 8 years, got married and had children. So if that transplant had not happened, his generation has been just paused.
Yeah.
So we have just forget that we are not just giving this patient a working kidney, we are giving this patient
Another
a
life.
hope of continuing his generations.
Yeah.
So we have a patients in whom we have did the transplant at the age of say 15 or 60s. They got married, they have children, so they have a normal life, which is priceless.
Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to say. But Dr. Tyagi, if you could take us through how entire transplant system works in our country, in India today, if you can explain to our audience.
I give you an example of when the patient walks in ROPD. Some patient calls me, okay, I have a kidney failure and I want to see you. They come to us or come to the nephrologist. They come to us and we counsel them, okay, kidney transplant is a good option for you by giving all the examples which I just gave to you. Once the next question automatically comes from where the kidney will come,
Yeah.
right? The patient asks us all the type of funny questions from where I can buy the kidney. Or are there persons who can give the kidney? There is a well-defined law in India which is called Human Organ Transplant Act, which have all the legal things around the transplant, that you can get a kidney from a person who is related to you.
Okay.
So if there is an ex-person, his or her spouse, his or her children, his or her parents, grandparents, grandchildren can donate, or somebody who is in a very close or first degree relative, they can donate. And we all give all the things, queries, and debunk all the myths about the donation. Once they are decided to get the transplant done, then we do a comprehensive, complete evaluation of the donor, of the recipient.
Okay.
And there is a third part which is called medical legal. Medical legal means we have to fulfill all the parameters of Human Organ Transplant Act. So in all the hospitals, every transplant has to go through an authorization committee, which basically see that this donor is not being forced for donation, and and he or she is a legal donor.
Okay.
So once we are done with all these three parameters, the evaluation of the donor, the evaluation of the recipient, the authorization committee approval, then we do the transfer. So sometimes it's a whole and soul project.
Exhaustive process, yes.
Right? When a family walks in my OPD, I say, now you are entering into a project which you have to fulfill by taking help of yourself, each other, and by taking the help of us as a medical professional.
And once this project is completed, how much time does it take usually to recover from the transplant surgery?
So normally the patients and the donors get admitted 1 or 2 days prior to the transplant. Say today I did a transplant, the donor will be discharged, today is Saturday, by Monday or Tuesday, and the recipient will be discharged next Saturday or Sunday. So donor will be in the hospital for 3 to 5 days, the recipient will be between 7 to 10 days. The recipient, because we are giving certain medication to the recipient, the kidney accepted by them, so that need to be titrated as per the response of the recipient to the donated kidney. So we make some variations which the nephrologist or the transplant physician take care of. So for 6-7 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, they have to be in a very close monitoring or active surveillance for what is happening in their body. And once everything is stabilized, all the currents of the sea has become peaceful,
it has been pacified.
Then we just let them explore on their way, keep giving them all the necessary advices. And for the donor, after 2 weeks of the surgery, we take out the all the minimal staples and stitches and ask them, okay, get a health checkup done every year. If you feel anything, come back to us or enjoy your life.
Oh, nice. Simple that it sounds.
It's just simple. It's simple.
So modest of you
I should
to
say
that.
It's not so complex.
It is not, indeed, with the right expertise.
Yes.
But, when a typical human being.
And that's the reason you should get a transplant done at a place where there is a team. Because the team knows each and every responsibility of
The
them.
professionalism into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's more like today's in the football game that everybody is a part of your play. The striker only hit the goal doesn't mean that rest of the 10 players have not contributed.
True.
They have contributed their bits because they have their own positions set up, and the striker is the last person to hit the goal.
It's a combined effort indeed.
Yes.
Yeah. And what about the medicines after the transplant?
So because this kidney not belong to this patient, so from the time that we have transplanted the kidney, the patient body want to reject the kidney. And here comes the role of immunosuppressant. We give certain medicine to decrease the immunity to an acceptable level. And where the role of nephrologist and physician is very significant. And they have to take that medicine, and on the basis of the response of the patient to the kidney which we have been transplanted, this medicine has to be titrated and doses has to be fixed. So these medicine need to be taken lifelong and need to be changed as and when required. So we as a transplant surgeon have a role of say about 4 weeks or 6 weeks with the patient and the donor. But as a recipient of a kidney transplant kidney, these patients need to be under a lifelong surveillance or follow-up with the nephrologist.
And that is a super crucial part of it.
Yes, that is a super crucial part.
Okay, okay.
Because
so this is more about the procedural part of it, right? What about the emotional aspect which is involved in this entire journey for the patient?
So emotional aspect, most of the time when the patient comes to us first time as a patient, the whole family comes and they doesn't have a willingness to donation of the kidney, or they have their own confusions
Stigma.
or myths. But when they come to a bigger hospital, they see, okay, there are a lot of patients who have got the transplant done and they are donors.
It is estimated that 220,000 people in our country require kidney transplants every year. In fact, in 2023, our nation required 1,75,000.
The donor who have an emotional connect. Sometimes we do find families where more than one donor are available to us.
Wow.
Right, and vice versa, we do find the families where nobody willing to donate. So you come across a lot of the emotions, but as a transplant surgeon, I can look the emotions of them, but I cannot control them because it is the willingness of the donor to donate. And then the emotions of getting a surgery done, emotions of donating the kidney, the affection between the two persons. So those emotions we see. So mother giving to a son, or wife giving to a husband, or husband giving to a wife, mother-in-law giving to a daughter-in-law.
Whoa.
So you come across all type of emotions, and that's the beauty of the transplant, because not only as a transplant surgeon we are just doing a surgery which is pinnacle of the surgical expertise, but also we are coming across lots of emotional things around us.
But sir, now that you've been in the industry for over more than 2 decades, right? I want to ask you something, right? When you go through all of these emotions and everything, does that impact you also personally?
One thing I always go back into the family, that if my kidney fails, who will donate me?
Oh my God! Don't ever say that.
So that means, what I mean here, if we do not talk in our family,
don't communicate, yes.
Right? Do not communicate. It is my expression of knowledge, or my you can say, to send the message across the society. The first thing start in the family.
Yeah.
So I have to tell my family member, okay, kidney donation or kidney transplant is not a big thing. It can be done if we require it. Unfortunately, if we required it. The same we have to give this social message to anywhere in the society. But yeah, it's become a part of our job. And somebody asked me, what is the beauty of your job as a transplant surgeon? As I said earlier, it is to see the emotions happening during the evaluation of the transplant, at the time of the surgeries and post-surgery also.
Okay.
Certain time, most of the time you have good emotions coming out. Sometimes you also see the bad emotions. Like one example I gave, there's a young guy who came to me from London to get a transplant done. His mother is willing to donate. When we evaluated, his mother has certain problem because of which she cannot donate. And I do not believe, she shouted in me on my OPD that why I'm not taking her kidney. Because she was emotionally attached to the son. And as a transplant surgeon, or as a physician or surgeon, I cannot take a kidney from a person
who's not
when I'm feeling that by taking the kidney of her, something medical or surgical can happen to her. So you have to cut short those emotions out of your body and say, okay, no, we cannot take your kidney out. I cannot make a person diseased to cure some other person.
Right.
So you come across, and it make you more stronger as the emotional person. And yeah, it's become a part of a job.
But sir, do you think that the stigma around this whole narrative of donating or getting the surgery done is reducing over time?
It's reduced a lot of time. I tell you one of the example which we are now doing a study about that. 20 years back or 15 years back, most of the time the waiting time to get a transplant done is between 1 year to 5 years.
Okay.
So patient comes to us, okay, and when you ask him, since when you are on a dialysis, I'm on dialysis since last 2 years or 1 year. Cut in 2026 and 25, if you ask 100 patients, most of the patients have a dialysis. Oh, I never went to a dialysis. I found that I have a kidney failure and I'm coming for a transplant. Or I just started my transplant dialysis about 3 months back, 6 months back, or 1 year.
And now I want to transplant.
Yes. So the gap that is basically because of the knowledge and the information about the transplant which have percolated throughout the society.
Wow.
So this is a basic difference which I found, that initially the dialysis time before the transplant is in months and years. Now it is in days and months.
And that's why we say, right, infrastructure was, I think, mostly never the problem, awareness was.
Yes, and
Right.
sometimes we give a negative thought about the social media. Social media also give a positive responses because they also send out the positive things of the transplant. Maybe
People
the
sharing their
lesser people,
success
yes.
stories.
Yes.
And what are the lifestyle changes that you tell people after their kidney
So
transplant?
for the
is done?
donor, there is no lifestyle changes. They have to live as good as they were before the kidney donation. For the recipient, as I said, they have to take medicine on time and they have to take all the precautions not to get any infections. So which we normally take. We do not drink water if we do not know the source of the water. We do not take a food if we know that it can upset our stomach. So the same things our recipient has to follow lifelong.
Is there any impact on their mental health as well?
Normally not. Normally not. They get positive after the transplant.
Oh.
So most of the patients before the transplant are a bit of like this face, and after the transplant they're like this face. So they look more charming after the transplant because the hemoglobin is increasing, creatinine is getting down, and emotionally they become better actually.
And also the gratifying emotion of getting another chance of life, a better life in fact.
Yes,
So sir, if you're ready, can we do a rapid fire with you?
definitely.
All right. So sir, starting off, first one, kidney transplant patients cannot live normal lives.
The kidney transplant is done to have them a normal life, so they can live a normal life as they want.
Kidney donors become unhealthy.
So they become more healthy after donation because they are much more cared about their
aware.
own health and aware about their own health.
Only young people can undergo transplant.
Every people have a right to live a normal and a good quality of life. So every person who is fit for surgery can undergo a transplant.
And last but not the least, dialysis and transplant are exactly the same thing.
No, dialysis is something which is temporary, and the transplant is something which is permanent. And transplant provide a better quantity and a much more better quality of the life as compared to the dialysis.
Wow. So sir, that's it for today's conversation. Thank you so much for bringing in your expertise, your years of experience, and sharing such insightful conversations with us today. Thank you so much for being here.
So thanks for inviting me. And one of the message which I want to give to the audience, that we say that kidney donation is a gift of life. So by donating a kidney on an organ, whether you are alive or whether after the death, is a gift of life.
Wow.
So if you have an opportunity and you are meant for that, do not hesitate for that.
So sir, all I can say, even the end message was so strong. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing the right message. And that's it.
Thank you.
So as we conclude today's discussion, one thing is very clear, that kidney transplantation is not just only some medical procedure, it is hope where science gives its patients another chance to live. How we have realized that medical infrastructure is not the problem, but the awareness is. How so many people step behind because of social stigma, and thus people are losing out so much on their lives and so much on their health. But the encouraging reality here today is that kidney transplant outcomes have tremendously shown great results. Technology has gone advanced, the expertise has shown great results, the success stories have increased tremendously, and that is something that is very, very evident. But to bring attention to something is that early diagnosis matters, informed decision matters, and in fact, organ donation also matters. So I believe after this conversation, all I have to say is all the thanks to the sir and the expertise that he brought to our show. So now to just wrap up this conversation, to all our listeners, if you found this conversation insightful, do share with your friends and family. And trust me when I say this, awareness does save lives. So that's it for today. Keep watching, keep engaging. Thank you.